It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm recording this before having breakfast. This is going to be potentially one of those videos. I just want to say, following this video, I plan on recording a bunch of stuff today, including Red vs. Blue, Season 13, Episode 15 through 17. Hey, Future Arnold here, just letting you guys know I finished Episode 15 through 17 like I said I would, along with, you know, all of the anime rostered content on the channel up to this point, but I need to sit down and have a conversation and really talk to you guys about something that has been just... It's been something that I've always dealt with over the last couple of years, I would say from season 9 to present day, so a couple of years at this point, and I don't really think that there's any excuse for it on the part of select viewers, select individuals that really kind of bring the vibe down, bring the energy down for everyone, ruin things for everyone and whatnot. The title of this video will most likely be, I don't care about Red versus Blue. Now, this has been an ongoing, how do I word this? This has been an ongoing sentiment from people who claim that they've been waiting years for Red versus Blue content from me. Now, I understand being frustrated. I understand, you know, looking at my channel from the perspective of where I started Red versus Blue, how many years it's been, and where I am now. Comparing me to my peers, fellow content creators and whatnot, and also kind of projecting a mirror in front of myself to how often I have, you know, made update videos and talked about the struggles of being able to be consistent with content on the platform. I get all of that. What I don't understand and what I don't get is when all of this is projected from the same individuals that claim that I don't care about Red versus Blue, that I'm money driven, that other people are doing content better than me and more frequent than me and are further than me, and basically expressing a lot of vitriol, a lot of shade, a lot of discontent for my content. But every time I post something, they're still in the comments. Every time I post a video that's not Red versus Blue, there they are. And I don't like this idea that just because you like my content or just because you've made it this far gives you the right to treat me less than a person because you're addicted or you're attached to how I do things. I made an update video a few weeks ago, and I basically expressed that I would be making a genuine effort to not only pivot my content, but to pick up where I left off with content in general. I've posted Ruby Ice Queendom, I've posted Ruby Arrow Fell, Beastars, Attack on Titan, Erased, and I made a post on Twitter and in the community tab expressing that I have finally picked up where I left off with Red vs. Blue with my reaction to episode 11 through 14. And like I said, after this video, I'm going to have breakfast and I'm going to sit down and record a bunch of videos for the day, including, actually the first video I'm going to record is episode 15 through 17, because we all know Rooster Teeth as a company is shutting down this year. I believe they're shutting it down in about 50 days. Ruby's future is uncertain, and Red vs. Blue is officially ending for good. With Bernie at the helm, it's taking place, I believe, after season 13. And so there's still an interest even in that content for people. Maybe new people will discover me, and maybe some other people who remember me from RVB will come back, whatever. I'm putting in the effort. And I understand being someone that has the perspective or has the opinion of, yeah, Arnold, I'll believe it when I see it. But what I've been met with for the last 3 weeks has been people actively going out of their way to shit on me, to assume my character, and to basically boil down from my perspective that they were better off with me not being around than me being back and making a genuine attempt to pick up where I left off. I want to read a couple of comments to you. These are few comments of many that I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks that have just really soured my, like, it just really, like, and I'm gonna express this too right here. Let me get this off my screen. I just really want to express that since I've been back, these people have really made my own channel a very inhospitable place to be if I'm not giving them what they want. And my immediate visceral reaction to that kind of behavior is to not give them what they want as a reward for that behavior. So for people who are bitching and moaning and complaining and making assumptions and saying this and that, dead channel, no one cares about what you're posting, just finish RVB, just admit that you don't care about the show. Oh my God, like why isn't he caught up yet? This other content creator is caught up, their content's way better. If all of that is being projected to me from people in the community who literally are one-track minded, that only care about red versus blue, that really don't care about me, they care about what my content gives to them as a viewer, despite them already watching the show, mind you, that just makes me react by saying, well, I don't want to post the video because that's just rewarding shitty behavior. And so while I am content with the fact that I haven't uploaded in the last year because these people are not getting what they want, because I'm not going to do what they want me to do, it sucks for the people that do care. Let me get into it. Cool video. See you in the year 2030 for part 4. This is a comment from someone, clearly a red versus blue fan, who went into my Ruby Ice Queendom video that I posted yesterday and has essentially kind of dunked on the fact that, oh, well, he doesn't post red versus blue in forever, so I guess he's not going to post part 4 of Ice Queendom. This is a very cope take, and it's just in general very ignorant, because I've been posting Ice Queendom for about 3 weeks, and I have 3 weeks of videos scheduled for Ice Queendom. That's what I've been recording. That person clearly is doing it to get a rise out of me. They're doing it to be a dickhead, and they're the type of person that I don't want to cater to. Same person, by the way. LMAO, this guy should just retire at this point. His channel is more dead than Rooster Teeth. Now, I don't know what your definition of dead is, but you realize that in 50 days, when Rooster Teeth officially closes their doors forever, I'm still going to be uploading to this channel, right? I understand that you're trying to take shots at me because I'm not posting the only source of entertainment that you've cared about in the last 20 years, right? Like, you're literally so head focused on red versus blue in 2024. I covered red versus blue and Ruby on my channel for the last 7 to 8 years actively. When you consider the fact that I had about 3,000 subscribers before volume 3, and that's what blew me up. And then that's what, you know, after volume 3, that's when I got into red versus blue. To consider that all of my subscribers now are no longer interested in that content, to see the views that I'm getting on the anime content still kind of expresses that I'm still doing better proportionately to where I was before Ruby and red versus blue viewers took over my subscriber count and my views in general. And it's another thing to say that my channel, I should just stop when I'm no longer getting viewership, I'm no longer getting subscribers, and I'm no longer being able to put out the content that my channel has been founded on for these last few years, because I feel like that's just very defeatist. And again, it's coming from the perspective of someone that's not a content creator. How would they ever know what it means to persevere with content creation on the internet in this day and age? Ruby's future is uncertain. Red versus blue is ending, and Rooster Teeth as a company is shutting down in about 50 days. I have always been interested in anime and manga content. That's what this channel was built on. If you go back, if you go further than when you discovered me, you will see I covered anime, manga, I did video games at the time too. And so I'm just kind of returning to my roots. And in this day and age, you know, the anime content landscape is a lot more competitive. It's a lot more thriving, essentially. And, you know, I have to play catch up and I have to build myself back up. I'm starting over again. And so, again, this is someone that's trying to be rude, and they're trying to be, they're trying to throw shade, they're trying to express their frustration, but rather than just say, hey, Arnold, I really enjoy your content, it makes me upset that you're not getting back to red versus blue, they would rather do anything else in their power to essentially see me as a target for their anger rather than as another human being. I'm gonna be honest, don't promise shit. We know who you are. This was a little weird because they commented this comment on the video where I commented that I was actually rewatching red versus blue. I took all these notes. Here's a screenshot of the editing program for that reaction, which is in the process of being edited if you don't believe me. But like, I never promised anything. I was anticipating that on the 16th was when I was gonna post the next RVB video. That was before I recorded this, which is 4 pages, mind you. 4 pages, mind you, of notes. And so that recording was about 2 hours. The reaction's about 40 minutes. So it's 2.5 hours of content, and I still have to edit it and add stuff and whatever. And so I never promised anything. I just said, hey, by the way, I wanted to get this video out by this day. I'm letting you know that it's not going to be out by that day, but that was never something I was promising. That was just me trying to see if I can reach that goal, because Red versus Blue, it's unpredictable when the content will come out, because this is the thing that derails me. Watching the reaction is the very cut and dry to it. It's whatever I tack on for the discussions, which is what I've always done, and it's never something I'm not going to do. That's the content that makes it unclear as to when a video will or won't come out. It's not the same as like if I sat down and recorded a reaction to an anime and then I have post thoughts and then we move on. Red versus Blue, I feel, has so many layers. There's so much like depth of like, there's a lot of baggage with season 13. I feel like you can never just talk about the episode in question, because there's so many implications and there's so many other things that follow suit with everything that leads up to the Chorus trilogy, because a lot of it is rooted in Project Freelancer. Again, I really hate the idea that this is what I've been dealing with since I've been back, and this is me being back and actively making an effort to get back to content creation. It really just feels like people don't want me back. I'm trying to get back to picking up where I left off, and it just seems like people don't want that. And then this other person says he'd rather upload something nobody will watch. That's certainly not true. That's another coping mechanism. What they basically mean to say is, I'm upset that I don't really care about the content you're covering, and because I'm incapable of communicating that, I'm essentially going to project that everybody feels the same way that I feel. Attack on Titan, Beastars, Erased, and I understand Ice Queendom is Ruby adjacent, so that will do a little bit better than the others. But these other anime series, also Frieren, I talked about Frieren. There was another RVV fan in there talking shit, basically saying that Frieren shit, who cares about it? Why would anyone watch it? These people are seething. I don't know where they got it in their heads that I'm going to just allow and accept them to do this. The only reason I haven't banned these people is because I don't want people thinking that I'm censoring. No one's being critical of me. At this point, they're just shit talking. And so that's kind of where we're at. But no, like, of course, I'm not getting the views for the content, but it's new content. What do you expect? This is something else that happens too. I get a bunch of Red versus Blue comment spam. This was on an Attack on Titan video. I understand what the person was getting at. However, this was my return to form. I had a plan for Red versus Blue. I wasn't going to address it in an Attack on Titan video, but you know, Red versus Blue, and I'm like, Attack on Titan, and then another person says Red versus Blue, Red versus Blue. And the user commenter here also went on to spam Red versus Blue on almost every single video that I've posted in the last 3 weeks, to the point where I call them out on it, and their classic response is blaming it on their brother. Oh, my brother used my account and did that. I'm sorry. And I don't know. I just feel like that was kind of whack. This person says, why is Red versus Blue so impossible for you to do reactions to? The other person who blamed it on their brother follows up by saying, bro, I watched his reactions to Red versus Blue 3 times over. I'm tired of waiting. And you know what? That's always going to be fair. It's always going to be fair when people are expressing that they're frustrated because of how long it's been. What isn't acceptable is, instead of acknowledging that and doing something tangible, like if that's how you feel, you shouldn't be around something that is causing you frustration. As weird as that might come off to be, right? Usually you'd be like, well, Arnold, wouldn't you want to make your subscribers happy? Not if I feel like the only reason they're being cordial and nice and respectful is because I'm giving them what they want. And the reason I'm expressing this is because this is just a fraction of what I've dealt with. Go to the last RVB video I uploaded, sort by newest comments, and there's just a mountain of people that they congregate there, and they make it a habit to just express to each other that I don't care about the show. They used another content creator, I think it was Melissa Hime, sweet lady. Like, I have nothing against her, loved her reactions to Ruby, and from what I've seen of her of Red versus Blue. And like, people are basically like, oh yeah, I watch her content instead of MurderofBirds because at least she is making her way through the series. And in my head, I'm like, why are you in my comment section then talking about another content creator instead of doing that and supporting and uplifting and championing them? That's literally cope. That's literally to say that you don't feel that way truly. But for you to comment that in my comment section, knowing that I'm going to see it, is kind of annoying. Another person too, and I'm going off the little beaten path here, I'm ranting a little bit, let me have this. But there was a, you know, this was before I started the Chorus trilogy, but there was this one girl, her name's like Nuka something, and she was watching Red versus Blue. She was picking up and rewatching the show after years of not seeing it. She was finished. She was rewatching what she had watched in the past, and then she was continuing on with a bunch of the new stuff. And I remember at the time I wasn't caught up to where she was, but then when I did get caught up to where she was, I watched her reaction to a moment during the Chorus trilogy. And I remember reading her comments, and one of the higher thumbed up comments said something along the lines of, "Oh, it sucks that Murder of Birds will never get to this point." Spoiler warning, I did get to that point, and it kind of makes a comment like that incredibly embarrassing for me, because what you're essentially doing when you do stuff like that, when you go to someone else's comments and you express another content creator, what you're essentially doing is turning that person's comment section into a waiting room. You're basically going to someone else's YouTube channel, commenting, "Man, it sucks Murder of Birds will never get here," on a video that's not mine, has nothing to do with me, and a bunch of other people are also thumbing it up, which tells me that Red versus Blue fans only watch the same content creators. So, like, no new RVB fans are being birthed in 2024. It's typically the same people that watch me are watching these other people, and it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of embarrassing, because it's like, I feel like she would have obviously read that and been like, "Oh wow, these people are here for my reaction, but they're talking and commenting about another content creator." It just seems like you should just focus on the person that content you're watching. And if you're commenting in someone's comment section, it shouldn't be about another content creator, about what they are or aren't doing. It should be about what you're there for. And so that happened like when I was in like I think I was in like season 9 or 10 or something like that. And I remember seeing that, and I was just really off put by it, and I was just kind of embarrassed. I was embarrassed to just like be someone that caters to people like that. It really just made me not want to put out RVB, because I'm like, this is the kind of reaction, this is how people act. This is how people act out when you don't give them what they want. And this has never been about giving people what they want. I didn't watch Red versus Blue back in 2016 because people were subscribing and commenting. I watched Red versus Blue because I wanted to see what the show was that paved the way for RWBY, which has always been the heart and soul of my channel. It's been what I've covered before any of you discovered who I was. And like, I've never wavered from how I wanted to make that content. And rather than just be excited for when I come back, see, here's the problem. The problem I have primarily is the fact that the people that don't mind are the people that are out there doing their own thing. They're reading other books, they're watching shows, they're playing video games, they're pursuing passions, they're pursuing hobbies, they're getting into, you know, other content creators, and they're basically living their life. Nobody who cares enough to complain about me not being around is focused so much on me not being around. And it seems to me like the people that are aggressive in their stances with me and Red versus Blue are people that really just don't have any other outlet of entertainment. Like, Red versus Blue seems to be the only thing they care about. Even if it's the only thing they care about that I'm posting, the fact of the matter is just like, I know when I post the next Red versus Blue video, they're still gonna watch. So like, why do I have to come to my channel and be met with hostility, be met with shade, be met with vitriol from people that are inevitably still gonna watch the content anyway? And then they're gonna act like they never did this, and they're never gonna respond. They're never going to actively, own up to the fact that they're a part of the reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And they're ultimately just gonna be like, well, this wouldn't happen if you posted your Red versus Blue videos. Here's the crazy thing. People who want to take shots at me for getting into Genshin, for creating another YouTube channel, and for like posting on Twitch more often, streaming on Twitch more often, do you realize how fucked I would be if I never did that? I can't even imagine what my life how I would figure out my life in the next year, within this next year, had I not done that years prior, because RWBY is uncertain, Red versus Blue is ending, and those two pieces of content is basically what this channel's made up of at this point. And starting over with anime and manga is going to take some time. There's growing pains. I'm losing subscribers every single day right now. I'm not exponentially growing. I'm not getting discovered because the content I'm focusing on isn't relevant in the, in the current algorithm of YouTube. Like, I'm not covering anything in this current season. And so it's just weird to me that people will shame me for pivoting, but don't care that if I didn't pivot, I would be in a very jeopardized position right now with my life, with my livelihood. I started Genshin almost 4 years ago, 2020. I started Genshin, and I covered that game because I loved it. I had a passion for it. I really enjoyed it. Ruby wasn't around at the time, and that has created a beautiful scenario with me because I have a second YouTube channel. I have 50,000 subscribers. I post daily over there, and the company that covers Genshin has also acknowledged me. I get sponsored on their other game, Honkai Star Rail, and it's just like, I don't feel bad for not covering Red versus Blue here because of that. I have to think about and put myself first before I put the people who are really making this about them. Like, I know when I post that next Red versus Blue video, which should be coming soon, I have to edit this video first, and I'm watching 15 through 17 after this, and then after that, I'm hopefully gonna finish, not hopefully, I will be finishing, or at least I'll finish watching season 13 this month, if not this month, like the first week of April. But like, the reality of the situation is just that. Like, I'm not gonna be ashamed for not covering what I want to do on my channel. I have never claimed to not care about Red versus Blue. I have never claimed that I'm dropping the show. And over the years, you would think that people would have moved on by now if this is a constant stop and go. But you want to know something that's always consistent, something that always happens? When I post a Red versus Blue video, people literally tell me that it was worth the wait. Now, I don't think they mean that literally, that it's worth waiting 12 months for the next video, but that rather than get hung up on how long I've been gone, they would much rather focus on the fact that I'm back. And that is the energy that I'm eager for, that I'm excited for. Someone actually commented this on a recent video of mine, on like an anime video, and I literally told them, there's a lot of people shitting on me right now. There's a lot of people that are commenting and that are being very vindictive and very spiteful and very tongue-in-cheek, and they think that they're, you know, they're literally just being assholes. And I said, for as many people that are like that, it's people like you that I'm actually excited about getting back into Red versus Blue. And if it was up to me, I would make it so those people got the content and the people that are giving me a hard time never got to see that, because they're not my fans. I don't want their support. I don't want their viewership. I don't want them even watching me anymore. And if they're still watching right now, that's genuinely how I feel. If you're one of the people that I expressed in this comment section, I don't care that you're frustrated. I don't care how long it's been. I've covered this show more extensively than any other person on YouTube, and you can check that. I have covered over 75 hours of content, and I don't even think Red versus Blue from season 1 to where it is now breaks like the 20-hour mark. And I'm not even done with season 13 yet. I'm like 76, 77 hours in for my overall catalog of season 1, season 13, with the reactions, reviews, discussions, soundtracks, the mini-series, everything. And it really just sucks that, you know, the people that support me, the people that don't care that I'm gone for that long, the people that will be in the comment section that will be hyped and excited, they're not acting out this way. You know why? Because they're focused on other things. They're living their life. They're focusing on other interests, other hobbies, whatever the case might be. Nobody who gives me the benefit of the doubt is actively waiting for Red versus Blue content. And if you are, you have very little on your hands. It's really frustrating even, because it just seems like people are waiting for me to fail more than they are hopeful that this time is different. And I get it. But if you're one of those people that are like, Arnold, I've heard this enough, I can't really take your word for it. At best, what you should begin and end with is, I'll believe it when I see it. To go anything beyond that is uncalled for, unnecessary, and at that point, it makes me feel like I shouldn't even do this, because I don't want to give you what you want. I want to give the other people what they want, but unfortunately, by proxy, you get it when you shouldn't deserve it. You don't deserve me, right? These people don't deserve me. They don't deserve my content. They don't deserve the time and effort and energy that I've put into this show to simply turn around and be like, yeah, well, Arnold, I don't care about any of that now. Where's season 13? And if my response is, I'll get to it when I get to it, isn't that my right? Isn't it my reaction? Isn't it my first time watching season 13, regardless of how long it takes? And if I'm committed to following through and being on course, shouldn't you at least wait for me to fuck up again? You guys haven't even given me a chance to get my sea legs yet. I haven't even posted anything yet, and you guys are already counting on my downfall. The last RVB video I posted was episodes 8 through 10. And I remember the day I posted it, because I posted the video, and within 2 hours of it coming out, someone had watched the whole video. It was like an hour and 40 minute video. So someone watched the entire video, and while majority of the comments were saying things like, oh my God, this was such a surprise. I wasn't expecting this. It's good to see you again. Welcome back. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. This was a great batch of episodes, etc., etc. I remember deliberately a comment that was like, cool video. Okay, see you in 6 months. Like, they didn't even allow themselves to enjoy what I posted because all they cared about was being proven right. And I feel like when you get to that point, you're no longer in it for the content. You're no longer in it for me. I don't know what you're in it for. I guess you're in it for the thrill of just shitting on somebody else. The reason I'm going to end off with this because I'm a little frustrated here. I'm getting this off my plate because if I don't say this before I sit down to record this video, it's going to eat away at me. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I've been rambling this whole time, but last night, a YouTuber that I watch, her name is Super Butterbuns. You guys might have heard of her. I mean, I don't know. RVB fans only watch RVB, but Super Butterbuns posted a video series. So for those who don't know, Super Butterbuns is pretty big in the gaming space. She does these really humorous, commentary-based, really high-quality gaming videos called For Beginners, which is like a satirical entertainment piece on covering games for the first time. She's very much someone that goes on these long hiatuses because, you know, she got married and she's focusing on like her life, and she, you know, she's pivoted to Twitch streaming, but she always focuses on her main channel. She has a secondary VOD channel, and she does the best she can. She's getting by, you know what I mean? She's making the content. She's doing what she wants first and foremost, and she's giving herself time to breathe so that way her content, so that way she doesn't have like a fucking love-hate relationship with her content. And she posted, I think for the first time in a while, a For Beginners video on Final Fantasy VII, and she tweeted the reception that it got, and people were already, I think one of the comments was something along the lines of, oh, I'm so pissed off that she posted this video because it just means that we're gonna have to wait months for the next one. And they weren't saying that like in a positive manner. They were very much like, is anyone else upset that she's just gonna go away again? As if she didn't just put all the time, effort, and energy of producing that video for it to then, it actually ended up getting 100,000 views within 24 hours, which is incredible for her. But like, that sentiment reminds me of this sentiment. It's a little different because her content actually demands the time, but for me, I have multifaceted interests. I cannot fucking sit here and just simply binge Red versus Blue and enjoy it thoroughly through and through. I actually think the reason I enjoy it so much is because I've allowed it to marinate over a long period of time, and I can retroactively look back on it in actual fondness because there has been a realistic amount of time, instead of being like, oh yeah, okay, well I started Red versus Blue at the beginning of the year and we're now at the end of the year and I'm already at season 13, but yeah, I still can appreciate the breadth of content and how long it's been. So I retweeted that, and I basically said, people that bitch and complain like that do not deserve free content. Another content creator that's very much in the similar fashion is The Gamer's Joint. He's a Kingdom Hearts based YouTuber, and you know, he went through his spell of hiatuses, and it's very similar. People get in their head about why he left. They make their own assumptions. They claim that he doesn't care about the content, he doesn't care about the series, and it's like they literally turn on him. They act like they never watched his content. They act like he's a villain, and that's just how I feel whenever I come back. And it's, to be completely honest with you, the reason why it's so hard to come back is because I know it's never gonna feel like we're picking up where we left off to get to the point where I'm comfortable to then start over. I never feel like, and my own friends don't even do that to me. I can go months without talking to my friends, and when we see each other again, it's like we never, it's like time has never parted. Like we literally just pick up where we left off. And so I know some people might think that this is me being like making a mountain out of a molehill, but the reality of the matter is, like, this content is very much ingrained in me, and ingrained in my enjoyment of it. And if I feel like I'm not enjoying something, especially because of the community that is focused around the content that I make, my audience, I don't want that audience if I feel like I can't enjoy things the way I want to. And so that's just how I've been feeling recently. Like I said, this has been something that I've been dealing with since coming back to content creation. This is an active approach that I am back. I am uploading content consistently, and some things are taking a little longer than others, but they're happening, and it's still not enough for these people to be a little... It's been a year You can't wait a couple more days or even weeks. And I get that. But like, I'm here. Wait for me to at least fuck up before you get angry again. Like I said, I've never claimed to drop RVB. And if you are watching this video and you are one of the people that has not given me a bunch of shit in the last year, I sincerely and honestly thank you from the bottom of my heart to know that I can come back and pick up RVB 13, and you are the person that I'm looking forward to seeing in the comments. You are the person that I'm eager and hopeful is excited for me to finish season 13, start season 14, watch the Restoration trailer, watch Restoration when it comes out, and maybe even consider checking me out when I do, you know, RVB Shizno Paradox, for better or worse. If I dislike it, guess what? We can all criticize it together, and seeing this show through to the very end. And you know what? I guarantee you those people aren't even going to watch this video because they're off doing whatever. When the next RVB video drops, that's when they'll be like, oh shit, Arnold's back, so am I, let's get it. I had to get this off my shoulder. I had to get this off my chest. I had to really just express how I've been feeling these last couple of weeks, because I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for anything. I just want people to just shut the fuck up and let me do my thing. And the fact that I'm back and I'm uploading again just shows that there's more effort going in now than ever. And I don't understand why I'm being villainized for the fact that I'm just trying to get back to where I was. I still have to, and I'm editing everything on the channel myself. So like, I'm doing the thumbnails, I'm doing the videos, I'm doing the recording, I'm doing the editing. I tend to just respond to those people in the comments and move on, but it's happening more and more and more. And I feel like it's happening more and more and more because I'm not actively addressing it. And that's what this video is about. People claim that I don't care about Red versus Blue. If I don't care about Red versus Blue, then you shouldn't care about my content, because it's soulless content from your perspective. And I'll leave it off here. I'll leave it off here, right? I ultimately know why people are frustrated. The reason is because my content is good. That is the only logical conclusion I can come to consider that regardless of who you watch on YouTube for RVB, no one can replace me, because I'm the only me there is. I'm the only one who covers Red versus Blue in the ways that I have. I'm the only one who can reasonably just deliver the content and talk about it and break it down and analyze it and process it in the ways that I've been doing. And I feel like the frustration comes from the fact that that is very hard to find. No one's becoming a Red versus Blue fan in 2024, let's be real. And with the show officially ending, the only people who are going to watch RVB is RVB fans. And I just find it weird that despite what I'm doing for the content, despite what I'm doing for the series, despite what I'm doing for my channel, sometimes it feels like y'all would rather me not be around altogether. I understand my value. I know my value. I know my worth. I know my real audience. I know the people that are in my corner that are excited for RVB. I just don't like how the people who think that they can just corral around my content and shit talk and continuously do it. And so I'm just making this publicly known. I've only allowed your comments to exist on my channel because I don't want anyone to get the idea that I'm censoring people who have negative or less than nice things to say about me. There is, however, a difference between criticism and just shit talking. So if I see those comments again, you will be permanently banned from commenting in the future. No one will know of your existence, myself included. Ideally, if you could just stop watching my content altogether, that would be great, so it can ultimately live and exist and be here for people who are willing to just pick up where they left off instead of keeping score, instead of throwing blame, throwing shade, trying to shame me, and ultimately just trying to put themselves on a pedestal simply for watching free content on the internet. I don't want to have to feel like every time I come back to my channel, I have to fight for it because people are just stuck in their ways with how they want to feel. If it really ultimately sincerely matters to you that much, understand that this is me watching Red versus Blue for the first time, and there is nothing tethering you to this content or this channel for that matter. Red versus Blue is taking a little bit longer, and it's a lot more on my plate than anything else that I'm covering. And like I said, I'm watching RVB right after I finish this video and have breakfast, so it is what it is. Hey, Future Arnold here, just letting you guys know I finished episode 15 through 17 like I said I would. But yeah, that's everything. Like I said, you guys should be getting a Red versus Blue season 13 video this month. I'm going to, once the video is done rendering, I'll be able to definitively give you a time, but because I have to edit the whole thing, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to wait and see. But I wanted to just put this video out here. It's really long. It's like 40 minutes at this point, and I just wanted to just talk your ear off a little bit about how I'm feeling, because it has been eating away at me, and I feel like if I don't talk about it, it's going to get to the point where I resent the show, I resent the people that are here, and yes, I eventually drop it permanently, and I delete any comments that refer to red versus blue as if it never happened. And I'm not going to rob myself of an experience because certain people want to ruin it for everyone. That's my take. Those are my feelings. That's where I stand on things. Like I said, I'm already in the process of recording and editing stuff, and it's just a matter of time. But that's everything for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate those of you who have been patient, who have been waiting in earnest. I promise you, you do not have to wait too long. Once I know for certain, once I'm actually able to tangibly coordinate how long it takes to record and edit and upload without me burning the fuck out, you guys will be the first to know. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.